Welcome to Across the Obelisk, a game that takes deck building foundation from Slay the Spire and expands into a full party RPG experience. Instead of climbing solo, you're managing multiple heroes, synergizing decks, and committing to decisions that stick with you the entire run. This is Checkpoint Dunion, where every game gets a taste test, and today we're stepping into a fantasy kitchen where the decks are stacked, the builds get spicy, and one bad choice could be the end of a run. Across the Obelisk keeps that deck building at its core, but pushes it further with party management and fun co-op play. Balancing an entire team, choosing paths carefully, so you can make sure you're set up for success in the long run. Shuffle your decks and plan your moves, because in Across the Obelisk, patience is key for a clean win or the one fight that goes to the oil. Gameplay in Across the Obelisk revolves around smart deck building and quality synergy with perfect planning. Each run manages a full party of heroes, which gives you this beautiful perk system to even upgrade them more to be even stronger throughout the game. You're not building a single strategy, you're balancing multiple people, and synergy between them is what keeps the run alive. Combat's turn-based and card-driven, where timing, luck, and a little bit of energy management matters as much as raw power. Buffs, debuffs, statuses can stack really quick, and a single bad play could probably derail your whole fight with that one play. Between battles, your choices shape the run, path selections, events, relics, upgrades, all influence how your party develops. Some decisions give immediate power, while others pay off later, and sometimes you can even get a really bad debuff that ruins your whole hand at the same place. What sets Across the Obelisk apart is how smoothly the system connects. Deck building, RPG progression, party management, the co-op play, all of it does not feel overwhelming. Even solo, you're running in a coordinated team rather than juggling 4 separate characters trying to make them work, and it's blended so well that I have enjoyed so many different runs and multiple different kinds of difficulties trying to see how far I can make it. The game has a lot of replayability. In terms of the performance wise, I have yet to encounter anything bad with it. No stutters, no frame drops, no nothing. I have broke the game once when I had a lot of damage dealt at once by dealing over 100,000 damage with Heiner, but other than that, small bugs like that, very rare. No issues, no nothing, smooth, great gameplay. The loop, deliberate, deep, and built around letting you build and cook properly instead of rushing to the finish. Visually, Across the Obelisk leans into this stylized fantasy art style that clearly prioritizes readability over spectacle, and that choice works heavily in its favor. Characters, enemies, and environments are colorful and distinct without being overly detailed, which makes it easy to keep track of what's going on during your card play and everything else, but especially once buffs, debuffs, and status effects start to stack. The fixed isometric perspective gives you a clear tactical view of every fight, so there's no issue in terms of wondering where your characters are staged. It stays the same throughout. Characters are easily aligned, and it's very, very hard to get confused on what you're attacking. Very easy in terms of using your abilities and pointing them at people makes it that much better. The environments set the mood without becoming a visual noise. Different regions use varied colored palettes and themes, but backgrounds stay simple enough that your focus remains on the cards, the readability, understanding the effects, so nothing overly pulls away from the actual gameplay mechanics. You may notice some repetition over longer sessions, but it never interferes with the gameplay clarity. Audio side, the game keeps things understated. The soundtrack supports the fantasy tone without demanding attention, letting you stay focused, planning, and understanding, and reacting to loud musical cues in terms of everything. Sound effects for the cards, plays, and attacks are clear and functional, giving good feedback without cluttering the soundscape. Overall, sound and visuals, Across the Obelisk feels intentional. It's not trying to impress with flashy effects, it's built to keep information readable, decisions clear, and strategy front and center, which is exactly what this kind of deck building RPG needs. Across the Obelisk feels like a dish that's been carefully watched the entire time it's been in the fryer. The deck building is deep, the party synergy is satisfying, and the decisions you make actually matter from the first fight all the way to the end of a run. It respects your time, but also expects you to think, and that balance is where it really shines. The mix of strategic card play, RPG progression, and co-op options give it a ton of flexibility whether you're running solo and managing the whole party yourself, or coordinating builds with friends. The system works together smoothly and reward planning instead of luck alone. There is some repetition over time, but the variety in builds and paths does a lot to keep things fresh. And at $20 for the base game, this is a great value. You're getting a lot of content for the price, and the fact that you can play DLC content if your friends own it make co-op even more appealing without forcing everyone to double dip. So when it comes to plate this one up across the Obelisk, it's coming out golden brown onion rings, perfectly seasoned, crispy on the outside and stacked high on the tray. Across the Obelisk gets a 9 out of 10 onion rings. This is Checkpoint Dunion, where every game gets a taste test, and let me know what should go in the fryer next, and I'll see you in the next one.